Ooh, oh, yeah, love it.
We are live on Instagram and YouTube.
All right. And over here on my Facebook page.
We're live on your Facebook page.
On the pages. All the pages.
All of the pages.
The
Grand Battle and...
What is this? Kareem McMichael had the thing with his own page name.
There we got a few. Here we go.
That is true. We're on the regular Kareem McMichael window. I will share this to that page as well. I'm trying to see if I can tag you. I'm curious if I...
I'm sure you can. Because I can tag you over here. I can actually send you an invite and all that. You can do the same.
Oh.
So, I mean, it works. I don't know technology. He knows these things.
I know nothing. I just act like I know stuff sometimes. And people have believed me over the years. It's been so fortunate. Such a fortunate life to live when you tell people stuff and they believe you.
So with that, hello and welcome to the Founders Couch, one of the newest sessions that we've created for the Deserve Conference series. Thank you so much for joining us. We're currently in the midst of Deserve 2020, A Better Tomorrow Today. As a matter of fact,
it's like literally live.
Dr. Marlon Johnson is currently speaking right now. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Let me see.
I want you to be able to talk.
Live
so,
right now.
He's literally talking right now, and his session is absolutely amazing. If you're not currently watching that because you're watching us, one way or the other, you'll be able to get it. It will remain up through December the 7th if you are registered.
Tell them where they can register.
So you can register at gallenbattle.org. So on my Instagram, for those of you who need help finding my name, go to the bio and you can click right on that link. Same thing here at YouTube. If you just go to the biography page or the main page for my YouTube channel, click on the link there and it'll take you to the registration site. That's gallenbattle.org, where you can go there and register absolutely free. So we look forward to having you all join us. The conference runs November the 29th through December the 5th. And if you're registered, you continue to have access 48 hours after that through December 7th. So I am here with Mr. Kareem McMichael of Karmac Productions.
Thank you for having me.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. If he won't say it, just so you all will know, this is going to wrap with an amazing... I know I'm the one being interviewed for what I'm going to stop doing what my job is, but no. Though you will have amazing content from all week long, but it's going to wrap with an amazing concert this Saturday. So please go register at gallenbattle.org. But yes, I am Kareem McMichael.
Thank you for plugging that concert.
You're
the
welcome.
Playlist, Faith,
there you
Hope,
go.
and Love. That's going to be a great session. Thank you. Tell us about yourself. Who are you? What do you do? I know your people know because we're on your page on Facebook. For those who are on my page, tell them who you are and what you do.
And hello, everyone, again. Hey, well, some people watching here might not know either. There are some friends on there who are, we don't know each other personally. But anyway, I'm Kareem McMichael. I am the founder, owner, Karmac Productions. I'm also the online content manager at Savannah State University in the Journalism and Mass Communications Department. So I'm also in the education world in that realm. But outside of that, primarily Karmac Productions, do film production, graphic design work, some acting, some things of that nature, short films, documentaries, a lot of documentaries and short films over the years.
Okay.
So
I saw some of your work on Amazon, I believe it was recently. So yes.
Oh, cool, guys. Oh, thank you for checking that. Yeah, Best Friends is out there, a little interesting comedy film that I wrote a few years ago.
It's actually really good.
Thank you. Yes.
So with that, let me ask you this question. What brought you to that work?
So the original thing when I was a kid, I was like 5 years old. This probably sounds so bad to say, but I was watching Jack Nicholson play the Joker in Batman. It was like one of the first characters that stood out to me. So I was like, I want to do that when I grow up. I enjoyed watching Bart Barker's on The Price is Right.
Yes.
This is how old. Well, to some people, how old they're like, who is that? Who are these people? And
Barker.
then, or really what was super significant to, it's funny because my mom would joke about it. She always like, you always run around talking about 13 News. So I loved watching 13 WMAZ as a kid.
Yeah.
Shout out to the hometown.
Straight from the heart.
Straight from the heart.
Yes.
13 WMAZ. I watched that show every day. Tina Hicks, Frank Malloy, Bill Powell at the time were on, well, Frank Malloy's still there, but everyone else, has since, well, Bill Powell passed away and Tina Hicks is still alive, but she's no longer currently reporting. But so watching that station, and I was just like, whatever that was, that's what I knew I wanted to do when I grew up. And I somehow I guess along the way at school, interacting in different productions and things, I went to a private Christian school. So every, I guess it was semesters or quarters, whatever, was some type of show, whether it was musical, acting. We didn't really have like a newscast show. I really experienced that at high school, but
Okay.
it was still a part. I actually didn't know. I had to take that back. I forgot, like 1997, I did win a little contest to be a meteorologist for a day. That was fun. And then I was like, okay, I can really do this. This is not so bad. Not so bad.
Nice. So, that kind of tells us why you're so passionate about it. But if you could wrap that up into maybe a sentence, why are you so passionate about that work, about film, about television, about the visual arts?
You said in one sentence, that's hard. But I'll try to narrow it down into a small.
Give it
Well,
to us how you can.
the main thing for me is it gives me life, and I've watched over the years how telling stories, whether it's something personal to me or definitely something personal to other people, their journey, it gives other people life. It gives them a window into experiences that they may have never had, but an opportunity to see something from someone else's perspective. So I think over the years for me, it's always given me life since I was a kid. I think Marvin Gaye said it best in one of his songs, like if something happened to his music, like he basically died or something like, or he loses. I feel the same way about film. Well, I feel the same way about music too, but definitely about film and telling stories and stuff. So, well, no, he said he'll go crazy if he loses his music. So I kind of feel the same about film and stuff. If someone just be like, I kind of had told myself as a kid where it's like, if I grow up and this does not work out, what am I going to do? Like, I know what is this?
What else is there?
Right, what is
I don't
there?
have a plan B.
Really did.
So that actually leads me. You said it gives you the opportunity to see something from someone else's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
That leads me to my next question. Why should we continue the conversation surrounding HIV prevention and care, considering your own personal perspective and the perspectives of those around you as someone who works in the visual arts? Why do you believe that it's important for us to continue this conversation? We're 40 years into the epidemic. Why is it still important?
True, and I think it's important to still have that conversation. For one, like, without having that conversation, you just don't know who's affected by what. Mm-hmm. And I think once you start opening a dialogue, even if you don't know anyone personally, though, we'll probably, more times than not, end up finding out you do know someone personally who's affected by it. And then once, in going back into giving them a window into something that they don't have any experience with, we should be able to break down those barriers of what used to be something that is, well, still is, uncomfortable to talk about, to some people taboo, something that's very hush-hush. And fortunately in 2020, not as deadly as it used to be, or the way people treated it back 40 years ago, 30 years ago, or even 20 years ago. Having that conversation will let people know that, hey, you can talk to someone, it's not airborne, or you can touch someone even. There's some certain stigmas and things that are associated with HIV and AIDS that people just don't know about anymore. And even on the prevention side too, well, or if for some reason you do end up with it, they're still pretty much taking care of yourself. What is the proper way to go about getting into care? Even if you're afraid, at some point it's like talking and open up the dialogue with different groups, whether it's the healthcare professional or people who are positive or people with experience in the area, then you'll be able to say, here's some steps I can take to still live a healthy, productive life. It's not the end of the world. And this is even if someone is heterosexual as well, because that can happen to them and you can still go about a productive life as well. You just have to know how to take care of yourself. And then on the prevention end, because sometimes we don't talk about that a lot, besides just, wear a condom and everything will mysteriously be okay. And I'm like, right. So many other, who was it? Jay-Z, you got 1,000 ways to get it. So there's so many other ways you can still contract. But this is not good. You don't want to get this. He was talking about money. But if, again, preventing that from happening, whether now with PrEP, if you do choose to practice with abstinence, there are different ways. But we have to be able to have that conversation and that talk and not be fearful of that. If we have that talk, it'll encourage kids or whomever to go. Well, I'm going to say kids because usually it's when it kind of starts. I'm like, well, we don't want to talk about it because then that might encourage them to go have sex.
And that's exactly when we need to be having the conversation.
Right. And then truthfully, half the kids have sex anyway. Just going to,
I mean, said it. I didn't.
Right, I didn't.
It's true.
It
but
is
he said
true.
it.
I
didn't say it. I didn't say
You
it.
did say it. That's true. Oh, I'm going to say it. I said it. Yes, it is not an unknown fact. It's been going on for ages. And I think it's funny in families when we do start as we get older and talk about different things, even as it relates to sex, as it relates to prevention, as it relates to HIV and AIDS. You start to find out more and more that there's nothing new under the sun with this. It was just that each generation has not talked about it. And I will also even go further to say talking about it effectively. Is one thing to
healthy conversation.
Yes, to talk about something and then just close the door on it. It gets nowhere. But to have healthy conversations, to have effective conversations about it. And if it's someone, again, on the prevention end, that's one thing. But if it's someone who's living with it, then that's something different too. But it's still a way to go about having that conversation to be able to understand who the person is and where they're coming from. And then, are they okay?
There we go. So you mentioned a few things, a few buzzwords that I heard that came up in multiple interviews that I've done throughout the week.
Okay.
And some of the ones that you've done throughout the week. You guys, if you've been watching the interviews and you've been hearing a voice, it's his.
Okay.
He let us see him when he interviewed Brandon Earhart, the physician's assistant at Starling Family Practice, and you'll see that interview. I think it premieres tomorrow at 5 p.m., so you will get a chance to check that out. Actually, I think it premieres tomorrow at noon, so you get a chance to see that, noon Eastern Standard Time.
And truthfully, go
ahead.
I was going to say, even in the conversations with what you're doing with the conference is amazing too, because it's not often that you have a diverse group of people from so many backgrounds. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier too, that all from different walks of life.
Everybody
knows someone affected by HIV or AIDS, and are here at this conference talking about it. So that's very powerful, even within itself, to have those different perspectives. You got people who are healthcare professionals. You got people who are
faith workers.
You have some people, obviously, they didn't start out before they became into the profession as a healthcare professional, but they knew someone growing up who was. So it all brought us to this intersection of life. So I think it's very interesting.
And whether you are a faith worker, a physician, whether you are a person who has different religious practices, maybe you're a Christian, you're a Buddhist, or maybe you're Muslim, or maybe you are an atheist. Maybe you are heterosexual, homosexual, maybe you are a cisgendered individual, a transgendered individual, a non-binary individual. No matter what your background, this is something that we all need to be talking about. And I love that, like you said, we do have all of those different walks of life here at the conference presenting in one form or another. And we're all affected by those stigmas. We're all affected by that taboo that you talked about. With that said, how do you believe, I know I have my perception on how we can fix it and how we can work towards it, but what do you believe would aid us in reducing that taboo and reducing that stigma? That's not one of the questions I gave you, but you led me that way. So what do you feel? How do you feel we could address such a taboo and such a stigma?
That's a difficult one. I suppose, though, in some ways, people, once they open up on both sides of it, ones who are affected by it, and even people who aren't, but you might know someone, it's just being open and keeping it real, knowing the people for who they are as well. And whether or not, again, even if you don't necessarily agree with someone's life choices or lifestyle choices, that's the word to use, or certain things that people might use, but to still know that there's a human there, there's a spirit there, there's a person there, and that soul is still living and it's still breathing and, dealing with something that is curable and treatable if taken care of. But if no one talks to them about it, sometimes too, it's not even necessarily maybe even HIV or AIDS itself that it's the problem for people. It could be depression from other things as well, from not having certain conversations or having people around them open to certain knowledge about, well, this is what it is, this is how it could or can affect different people. And again, that if hopefully, if you're in care and certain things, then you'll be okay. You can be okay. But that's really a tough one. I know it goes beyond conversation. It's really just taking what we say and putting it into practice, though.
Right. I also believe, though, that I know you're saying that it takes more than that, but I really feel like that's the most important step. The conversation. Just really being free and open enough and vulnerable enough to converse regarding those things you don't know. And being okay with the fact, like, I know oftentimes there are those of us who have the information. We're knowledgeable on the thing. And so people will come to us with questions and they're using all the wrong wording, they're using all the wrong verbiage. Everything that everything they're saying is just laden with stigma, and but they mean well. They genuinely want to learn and grow. We've got to be willing to allow them to be who they are in that moment with the knowledge that they have in that space, and allow them to be safe enough to ask questions and to engage. We can't keep doing this thing where we cancel people or we get rid of people because they're trying to engage in conversation, but because they don't have an understanding of certain things.
And then I think
we're treating them like outcasts.
You all talked about it some. Well, Whoopi in one of in the table talk.
Yeah.
About if you got to know who you're dealing with, and sometimes people ways of coping with stuff, and as well as trying to get understanding information is different than everyone else's. Now, admittedly, too, even with that though, then after you do put it out there, you have to also be okay with knowing if you take care of yourself, I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to do what's right and what's best for me, then I will be okay. It's one step at a time, step by step, day by day. But at the end of the day, the person that you do ultimately have to make sure is taken care of is yourself, and that's well, I hate to say without that support group, but sometimes it is the case.
Sometimes it's without the support group is you.
So you have to have you muster up the strength, the courage, the power, the ability. Like genuinely, you're gonna have to know, like when you go home and those four walls and it's just you, are you going to be okay
with you? That's a hard statement to make because oftentimes we want to say that it takes a village, and it does. It does, but sometimes you got to start that village with what you have, and if that's you, then take your steps, and you'll fall, you'll stumble, but take the steps. With that, next question. What made you say yes to Deserve 2020 and to the Deserve Conference Series?
Got you. Well, after doing like someone twisted my arm. No, I'm joking. That is not the truth. But after doing, whatever, even before doing research, not necessarily even that, just when you know the spirit of someone you're working with, what they're doing, the type of work that they've done, and the people around them, you can't say no. But it was great content too. I really have wanted to be a part of something like this where it's health driven, psychological driven, but it's wholeness. It's wholeness, not even just the physical. So to be able to know a lot of people as well who are affected and impacted by what the theme of the conference is this year, and even some of the past conference themes, I thought it was just important to me to see something come to life that needed to be. Especially when some things try to derail us. I'm gonna leave it like that.
This is the petty one here.
I am a petty one. But I also know how to be very diplomatic about it on camera.
I'm not so diplomatic. I hope you're watching. That being said,
but no, like I said, it's a really genuinely amazing content, and I just believe in what you're doing, what you all have been doing, and I think it's very important to continue to shine a light on that. One of the biggest things I think I wrote, I wish I could find this paper, this kind of has something to do with this. Like I had wrote this little slogan with my company, like we give you entertainment at 5-star quality, and one of the stars was something about service and community and certain things.
Nice.
I just can't find this paper. It was so long ago. So one day we'll have to rewrite this, but I know that was in there somewhere. And so it's just important to continue to be a part of something.
Well, we thank you. And we feel honored that you would be a part, because what has happened in the way that it's happened would not have happened had it not been for you and your company. So we are so grateful. So grateful. So grateful. I need that to be documented, that we are so grateful.
Appreciate
it. We really are, though. So when you hear the phrase, you know what, backing up. I want to back up.
All right.
I want to ask you a question because you alluded to it, so I was about to end the interview, but I have to ask you this. You just said that you believe in everything that was going on, and that makes me happy. But then you also said, because a few things attempted to derail the event and the conference in the way that we've brought it forth, you really were motivated to be a part to see it and make it happen. how do you keep going? Not just in this regard, but as an entrepreneur, as a film director, as a producer, when those types of things happen, how do you keep going, and what motivates you to just make it happen? Because I've seen you literally make it happen. What's your motivation? How do you do that? What is it in you that turns on and says, no, we're doing this?
Seagrams. I am joking. That's it. Sometimes, no. But no, I think throughout the course of my life with certain things, I can go back to when I was a kid, and I think people laughed and made fun of me for wanting to be an actor in certain things, and that, people was like, this won't be possible, just because probably no one had a grasp of how you could obtain it, how you could achieve it. But then what kept me going, because God knows how much I was going through as a kid, I remember my mom back in like 7th or 8th grade saw more beyond what I could see, and like, I guess my lack of self-esteem and confidence and some other stuff had me write this kind of poem affirmation thing to give me faith and courage and belief in myself. And so it's kind of things like, I think about other times in my life, probably like when I got the first film festival rejection letter some years ago, and I was just like, no. Or even the time I almost lost my job at the TV station. A lot of people don't know this. I almost got fired my first 3 months in, like in that probational period, because I was showing up late and some other stuff I could talk about it. I was doing the work. It was hard to get up at that time, but I was like, this is something I want to do. I'm determined. So I guess when I think about all the times when people have told me no, said it can be done, that is not possible, or that is not possible this way, or that this, and you grow your work over the years. You hope, if you're fortunate, if you're blessed. And then you can't please everyone anyway too, but you hope. So yes, obviously I look at a lot of my work back then. It was great for the time. So what keeps me that was the thing that keeps me motivated and going to. That's what I was trying to get back to. When I think about my family though, fortunately I have a very beautiful support system there who always, my mom, my dad, my brother, the people around me that I grew up with in Macon, at least the neighborhood I grew up in. So family certainly keeps me going. But then when I got older and I look at my college students, I look at my students at Savannah State, or I've been on film sets, and this is kind of weird to me because I didn't think ever in my 20s someone would tell me this, but it had, like, because of you, I looked up to you. I saw what you were doing, and I had not seen anyone that looked like me doing that in certain things. Made me stay in this industry. And so stuff like that. Stuff like that, stuff like that really keeps me going. And so for when anyone else too is told they're too little for something, that they're told no, or that they're too, you're not, whatever the status quo is for this and certain things, no, you can get it done. You can challenge it. It might be a little harder. Now that I'm not going to say, I'm not going to sit up here and lie and say it's going to be a cakewalk, but you can rise above it. You genuinely can rise above it, and surround yourself with the people that can help you do that.
That's good. Surround yourself with people who can help you do that. And make it tough. Keep going. It's worth it. Push through. That's good. So when you hear the phrase, I dream, I speak, and I receive victory, what's the first thing that pops in your mind?
I have to go with these 3 words that I love so dearly too. That kind of like aspire, arise, and accomplish.
Yes, I heard you say this.
Yes, I heard you say that. Yes, I really believe I dream a lot. I daydream, I night dream. Unfortunate night dream sometimes, but besides the point, I daydream, night dream. I have a lot of aspirations, a lot of visions. I feel like when you think dream, speak, receive victory, you really have to take things that you're dreaming and apply them. And not all dreams and visions are good either, but whatever it is, you have to be able to receive, process it, find your way through whatever it is you're navigating. And then to get to that part where you can, speak, then receive victory. I am messing everything up out of order. Well, even the same with speaking too. You still have to receive, speak, receive. And be careful what you speak on yourself too. Be careful what you let others speak on you. Sometimes people like to say words don't hurt, words don't hold power. Lies, they can if you let them. And just if you can, try not to let them. But then to receive victory, I think is to overcome, to accomplish whatever that goal is, whatever that dream was, whatever that thing was, whether it be something that was material or something that was extraterrestrial or spiritual. You have to be open to going through that journey, through that process. If you don't go through it, if you don't go through the dreams, if you don't go through the speaking and go through receiving everything that you've gone through, then I don't think you can achieve the victory. You might see it, you might get close to it, but I don't think you ever actually really fully receive it. And that's a journey every day with different things. I think that's the other thing people don't get sometimes. I think they think you can have different victories at different points in life for different various things. And I'm not just talking about winning awards and stuff, like actually nothing like that at all, actually. I'm talking about for your spirit, for your soul, for your self-peace. Well, for me, a big thing for me this year has been peace. For my peace and my sanity, you have to be able to go through these different, like I said, and those are different victories along the way. It doesn't all happen in a day, it doesn't all happen in a year sometime. But you have to know what your journey is for you. Don't compare it to someone else's. That's not yours. That's not yours. Know you. Know yourself, know the path that you're on, and that's how you get through that to be able to receive that victory.
Thank you. So as we end this session, I want to leave you guys with a couple of notes that I've been taking along the way as I've been listening to him. Number one, dream often. And I love that you pointed out that those dreams are not always good, but address those too. Dream often, process them, address them, and then speak what you'd like to see, what you'd like to have, receive that, and manifest that. Not always going to be easy is number two, but keep going. Not always going to be easy, but keep going. That means keep getting up. If you're late to work and about to get fired,
I was crying.
Work it out. Figure it out. Have the conversations. Negotiate. But keep going. Okay? I also heard another note is pay close attention to the group of people that you keep around you, to the energy that you keep around you, to your circle. We have our personal families and we can't necessarily decide who is our blood or biological family. But you do make a choice in the families that you build, in your chosen family. Pay very close attention to the circle that you keep, to the people that you have around you. That's another note that I got. And I also got it's okay to be a little petty every now and then. Don't let them see you sweat.
There you go.
And if they see you sweating, make sure they see you sweating because you're working hard. I like that. So with that, thank you so much, Mr. McMichael. Thank you, Kareem. Thank you, Karmac Productions. We appreciate you. You are a gem. Like I said, Deserve 2020, as you all are seeing it now, would not have been without Karmac Productions and without the leadership of Kareem McMichael. So we are so grateful. We appreciate you, your creativity, your leadership, your I'm gonna make this happen even if you don't type situation. Thank you.
Probably bad to tell this.
No, because we needed that. I needed that. It's difficult to it's very difficult to swiftly kick me in the ass. Because first you got to keep up with me. You got to catch me to kick me. This one did it. And so we thank you. Thank you all for taking this time to view. We'll make sure to make this take wherever you're getting it from available to you on the conference website, so you'll be able to watch it again. Maybe you missed it, or maybe you want someone else to hear this conversation and grab some of these nuggets that he threw out at us. But thank you so much. This has been another session of the Founders Couch.
Thanks, man.
Yes, thank you for joining us on the couch.
Thank you.
And we'll talk to you guys later. We don't have an easy way to do this, so we're going to get up.
That is true.
And turn our sessions off.
Flash it, click.
It'll look better in post. Bye, y'all.
Wait, tell them one more time again. The conference is still going on.
That's true. It is still going on. So,
at least since we're live.
Dr. Johnson's session literally just ended. If you would like to go ahead, maybe you're on our lives and you're not registered for this conference we're talking about, visit gallenbattle.org. If you're on my Instagram or my YouTube, you can find that right there in my bios. But it's G Allen Battle. That's GALLENBATTLE.org. When you get to the website, there's a tab that says Deserve 2020. There's also a flyer there. There's a register now button. There's many ways for you to get to registration because we want to make it easy for you. Click one of those items. It'll get you to the registration site. Registration is absolutely free. Register by choosing your ticket and the track that you want. Register for as many people as you like. Share those registration options for them so they can go ahead and join in with us. and enjoy. The conference has been running since November 29th. It ends on December the 5th. If you are registered, you get access to this information all the way through December the 7th. So 48 hours after the conference, you'll still be able to enjoy it, okay? Maybe you don't have time to watch it this week, but you want to go ahead and make sure that you're attached to this information. It will be re-released. So if you go ahead and register, you'll be added to the mailing list to receive the the newsletter and the updates for when it's going to be re-released, with the updated music for the concert, because every time we release it, it's going to have new music.
There you go.
There'll be updated sessions. There'll be updated edits to the sessions and such, so you'll get information that you didn't get prior to it, okay? If you want to donate, you can also do that. Want to become a sponsor, you can absolutely do that. We appreciate you all. Bye.